2 years, why students are so excited.
We are 1 month from the official start of summer, but the heat is already here. We are tracking a warm Friday, even warmer for the weekend. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Dan Schaefer.
And I'm Naja Sherman. We want to get right to Way 31 Chief Meteorologist Kate McKenna. Kate, do we get a break from the heat anytime soon?
No, we do not. In fact, the temperatures are on the up and up here for the next few days. In fact, it's the hottest temperatures that we've seen, of course, so far this year, approaching record values by the beginning of next week. But here's where we stand currently. Perfect lake day at Guntersville, 82 degrees right now. Muscle Shoals, we're at 84. We're down to 82 right now in Huntsville, 84 in Decatur. But anywhere you look on the Way 31 Air Care System Sky Camera Network, it is a lovely end to our work week. It's a dry end to our work week. The Way 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network not picking up any rain right now. Muscle Shoals, Decatur, Guntersville, that's the case at each one of our 3 radars. And it will continue to be the case as we go through tonight into tomorrow. Mostly clear tonight, mid 60s by 2 a.m. Waking up to the lower 60s by tomorrow morning. But once we hit tomorrow afternoon, once we hit Sunday afternoon, there you go. 90 on Saturday, 93 on Sunday. Remember, we did hit the upper 80s today. It was the hottest day of the year so far in Huntsville. And as we get into the beginning of next week, that's when we're seeing actually mid 90s. But I'm going to walk you through what that looks like on future radar. We'll also take a look at the tropics, a couple of areas of interest for us. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
You can track changing temperatures right on your smartphone. The Way 31 Storm Tracker weather app provides emergency alerts, real-time updates, and live access to the Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network. Stay ahead of severe weather by downloading the Storm Tracker weather app today.
Alabama's unemployment rate is down to 3.6%, a big difference from the 13.2% this time last year as COVID impacted so many jobs in Alabama. Way 31's Sierra Phillips is live in Decatur, where she talked with a company working to hire new employees. Sierra?
Right now, Decatur manufacturing company Daikin is preparing for their new job fair next month. This comes as, like you mentioned, unemployment is dropping lower and lower here in Alabama. I spoke with an HR representative who explained this April looked a lot different than last April.
We didn't hire as many people in 2020, but since the pandemic is starting to improve, we have opened up positions and we've begun hiring again, and it's going pretty well for us.
Daikin isn't alone. More companies are hiring right now, and that's reflected in the new numbers from the Alabama Department of Labor. The number of people employed went up by more than 250,000 over the last year.
We have many more openings than we did.
HR manager Paul Greer explained so far Daikin has been able to mostly hire the people they needed, but other companies haven't been so lucky.
We have heard they have struggles with getting qualified applicants.
April's 3.6% unemployment is the lowest it's been all 2021. If you're one of the almost 80,000 Alabamians without a job and qualified for their openings, Greer says Daikin is excited for the potential to meet you at their job fair next month.
It's an opportunity for us to streamline our approach, get candidates matched up with jobs, do screenings, do on-site interviews, and meet the needs of both the candidates and our needs as a business, hopefully all in one day.
They're looking to fill about a dozen positions. If you're interested, head to our website, waytv.com, to learn more about that job fair on June 5th. Reporting live in Decatur, Sierra Phillips, Way 31 News.
Well, the number of Americans seeking unemployment fell to 444,000 last week. That's a new pandemic low. The 34,000 drop from the week before is a sign the job market is strengthening and consumers are spending again. The number of weekly jobless claims, which is a rough measure of the pace of layoffs, has declined steadily since the year began.
Police departments in our area are struggling to hire new officers. The Hartselle, Somerville, and Decatur police departments are all looking to hire, but aren't having much luck. The Decatur police chief told us there's not a shortage of officers, but they're always looking to keep their numbers as high as possible. He says he recognizes why a career in law enforcement might not be at the top of everyone's list right now.
There's a lot of things going on around the nation in the profession of policing. A lot of folks now don't want to get into policing. Remember, policing is a calling. You have to really want to do that.
Decatur police say they are always looking to hire new officers. If you're interested, you can fill out an application. You can also go to the station and talk with current officers about the job and even go on a ride along with an officer to learn more. And we're always keeping our eyes out for opportunities for you here in the Tennessee Valley. We post openings, career fairs, and other opportunities on our website. And you can find them by going to waytv.com. Just click on the Skilled to Work tab.
If you're thinking of selling your home, there's no time like the present. The National Association of Realtors says in April, the median sale price for a home was a record $341,000. That's up 19% from a year ago. It also reported that homes are selling in a record fast 17 days. In fact, 88% of homes sold in April were on the market for less than a month. Real estate experts say the record prices are because of market shortages. Many real estate companies do expect the housing market to level back out as the year goes on, especially as more building supplies become available.
A new airline is on its way to Huntsville International. Breeze Airways will offer flights to Charleston, New Orleans, and Tampa. Tickets start as low as $39 one way. If your plans change, don't worry, because you don't have to pay a change or cancellation fee. Service from Huntsville International Airport will start July 15th. Breeze Airways is a budget airline founded by the same entrepreneur who previously started JetBlue and similar airlines across the world. Breeze Airways is headquartered in Salt Lake City. This is the second major addition of new routes to Huntsville International Airport that we've seen this year. In June, American Airlines will begin weekly round-trip flights to Miami, and we're going to talk with airport leaders about the recent increase in flights and if any expansion is planned as a result. And that's coming up tonight on Way 31 News at 10.
Travelers in Boston were held up at Logan International Airport this morning. That's after a computerized check-in and boarding system for two major airlines went down. JetBlue and American passengers were stranded in the terminal during an outage that also impacted JFK in New York. Even after the systems were back online, some passengers experienced hours-long delays.
East Limestone High School held its own Special Olympics today. The memorable event for students was canceled 2 years in a row. Way 31's Olivia Schuler spoke to the special education teacher going above and beyond to make this day memorable for her students.
Some job, Savannah.
Overwhelmed. That's how Yannicka Pride says she feels after seeing her students' faces.
It took me over just to see how excited they were that this is about us.
Special Olympics canceled 2 years in a row due to the pandemic.
First we said a field day, then we said no, let's just do our own Special Olympics.
During the coronavirus pandemic, Pride taught her students virtually, something she says allowed her to grow as an educator and a person.
Majority of my children are nonverbal, so that was my big concern that kept me up. And I said, okay, God, I need you to help me. Not only I know what I know, but I need you to help me to be able to reach them.
After months of virtual teaching and canceled events, today feeling like a celebration. 10th grader Tatum Hubbs says she has a favorite memory.
The 50-meter, the dash, yeah.
The school's Beta Club working one-on-one with special education students.
Right before COVID, me and Tatum were together, and me and her just connected really well, and we got a friendship, didn't we? We did.
Something students are already looking forward to, Special Olympics with all of Limestone County schools in 2022. Reporting in Athens, Olivia Schuler, Way 31 News.
The voters of Gunnersville say they won't pay to fund a new high school. The district's next steps to get it built anyway.
More heat on the Huntsville Police Department and their handling of mental health crisis. Latest family to seek justice in court.
I'm Way 31 Chief Meteorologist Kate McKenna. It is a warm, almost hot afternoon across North Alabama. It will be hot by the end of the weekend. I'm tracking the warm up coming up.
Coverage you can count on. You're watching Way 31 News at 6 with Dan Schaefer, Naja Sherman, Chief Meteorologist Kate McKenna, Sports with Lyndon Blake, and the Way 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network.
Tomorrow in the Shoals, there is a walkathon for child abuse prevention awareness. It comes as a toddler was killed last year after being abused by his father. The event is in memory of 3-year-old Caden Gardner. Caden's family wants to raise awareness for child abuse in the community.
So it hits a little close to home. We think about what the family has been through over the past year, as well as what they want to do to bring awareness to child abuse.
The walkathon starts at Helen Keller Hospital, and participants will walk 1 mile to Avalon Park. There they'll find guest speakers, live music, and free food. The walk starts tomorrow morning at 9 and is open to the public. Although this is a very serious topic, they hope to have fun with the event, so more community members will show up and help raise awareness for child abuse.
A family filed a federal wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Huntsville and 2 Huntsville police officers. It's over the 2019 shooting death of Crystal Ragland. Officers responded to reports of a woman acting erratically with a gun. Officers shot and killed Ragland within 60 seconds of arriving on the scene. The lawsuit claims Ragland was having a mental health crisis, and officers didn't try to de-escalate the situation before using deadly force.
In this case, we don't believe there was any type of attempt to de-escalate the situation or, get her any kind of treatment or that sort of thing, or, any kind of mental health intervention.
Weinberg also represents the family of Jeffrey Parker, the victim of the murder for which Huntsville officer William Darby was recently convicted. We reached out to the city of Huntsville about this lawsuit, but they said they cannot comment on pending litigation.
It has been 10 days since voters rejected a property tax increase that would have paid for a new Gunnersville High School. Tonight, district and city administrators are working to get the school built anyway. A statement released by the district today reads in part, quote, "In the coming weeks and months, Mayor Dollar and Superintendent Barnett will continue working together to identify and explore potential streamlining and funding opportunities that support the financing and construction of a new Gunnersville High School for our students and for the future of the city of Gunnersville. We believe that this collective commitment and effort will serve our schools and community for generations to come." The statement added that while there's no, quote, silver bullet which can provide the funding overnight, administrators are working to develop a plan that gets the district the funding they say it needs.
Evacuations are being ordered in parts of Louisiana after a dam failed near Baton Rouge. Emergency preparedness officials say several hundred homes are impacted. Water from the Intracoastal Waterway has submerged the highway where the failure occurred. The American Red Cross has turned a local civic center into an emergency shelter for evacuees. Heavy rain over the last several days has caused flooding across Louisiana and parts of East Texas.
Weather coverage you can count on with Chief Meteorologist Kate McKenna and the Way 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network.
And speaking of East Texas, specifically the Texas Gulf Coast, not great news when it comes to the forecast for even more rain. We've got an area that we're watching here that is in the western Gulf. A 60% chance of tropical development here over not only the next 48 hours, but also the next 5 days from the National Hurricane Center. Doesn't look like much right now on satellite, but you have to look closely here and you can see that counterclockwise swirl in the clouds there again in the western Gulf. This is not a huge rainmaker in and of itself, but you can still see all of the moisture streaming in from the Gulf up into parts of Louisiana, East Texas. The rain has not shut off yet. We're expecting an additional 2+ inches of rain in this area from Corpus Christi up toward Houston. This is in an area that has already received over 10 inches of rain over the past few days. For us, we're kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum. Of course, our big story is the heat and the lack of rain. For the next 7 days, we hardly have any measurable rain in the forecast. This is your view right now over Huntsville on the Way 31 Air Care System Sky Camera Network. We are at 82 degrees. Lots of sunshine, light wind right now out of the east-southeast at 8 miles per hour. We're going to keep a very light wind through tonight. It actually becomes a calm wind. And as we get into tomorrow, we're back a little bit hotter than today. Elsewhere around North Alabama, 84 degrees in Muscle Shoals and Decatur. Our current temperature in Gunnersville and Fayetteville, as well as Athens, 81 degrees, 82 in Fort Payne, 83 in Moulton. The Way 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network, it's quiet. We've been talking about how dry it's going to be. It's dry right now. Each one of our 3 radars, Decatur, Gunnersville, and Muscle Shoals, not picking up on any rain. So your dinner plans tonight, looking pretty good. 75 degrees by 8 o'clock, cooling down to 72 by 9 o'clock, just a few passing clouds. Future radar doesn't show much in the way of cloud cover. It certainly doesn't show much in the way of rain tonight into your early Saturday, starting in the 60s by the afternoon. These data sources, we keep looking at model forecast here, and temperatures, when you're looking at just the numbers, they're going a couple degrees cooler than what I am forecasting. I do think that we are going to get close to 90 tomorrow. Through tomorrow night into Sunday morning, I expect us to start back into the 60s, but by Sunday afternoon, your highs a little bit hotter than Saturday, lower 90s, 93 degrees, in fact, for your forecast high. So let's walk you through from start to finish. 70 degrees by 8 o'clock. Might I recommend that if you got some yard work to get done, do it earlier in the day, because between 2 and 7, we will hit that high close to 90, 86 though by 2 o'clock, back to the lower 80s by 7. And your 7-day forecast shows us that it's perfect lake weather for tomorrow and for Sunday. That's your view, Lake Gunnersville there in the background. 95 on Monday when the Trash Pandas are back at home on Tuesday against the Birmingham Barons. Well, 94 degrees during the afternoon. It'll still be pretty warm for first pitch, and it's still hot the next several afternoons, Wednesday all the way through Friday.
A North Alabama baseball team just won its first ever baseball championship, but that is not even the most impressive achievement that came out of that victory.
Way 31 Sports Director Lyndon Blake on deck to show us what it means for the Shoals community. Next in sports.
And now, sports coverage you can count on with Way 31 Sports Director Lyndon Blake.
Phil Campbell just won its first ever baseball championship, which is awesome. But get this, it's the first title for the school in any sport since 1947. Phil Campbell's 7-6 3A baseball championship win will go down in the Bobcat history books.
It's great, it's something that ain't been done in a long time. We made history and it's amazing.
Phil Campbell won its first ever baseball title in sweeping fashion, beating Bayside Academy in 2 games in Montgomery.
Ever since I can remember, our dreams of winning a state championship. We know we had the players to do it, and we just felt good about this season and got it done.
They got it done by swinging the bat. Even when they were down 4-0, the Bobcats scored 2 in the first, then had another 3-run inning in the third.
It's probably the best overall hitting group I've ever coached.
Trey Lindecker had 2 RBIs in the final game to help capture the historic win.
It's a great feeling, just having young kids looking up to you, just leading by example.
Coach Jonathan Raper is looking forward to the next generation of Bobcats to work hard like this team, keeping Phil Campbell at the top of 3A baseball.
We do tons of station work. They hate it. They hate me for it, but I'm going to go back now and I'm going to tell them, and I can tell these young kids that we over there, all those 10th graders, to see all those stations that y'all hate, I think they paid off after all.